Hello and welcome to Jamie's Motion Graphics episode 8. Today we are creating this. All of this has been made in After Effects from scratch, and I will show you now step by step how to make it yourself. Okay, here we are in After Effects. We are going to, as always, start with a new composition. It is going to be 1280 by 720. We can set this back to 25 frames per second. And we are going to start off by creating a nice background color. So today we're going to go with, layer new solid. We're going to go with gray versions. We're going to make kind of a light gray, I guess, background. This is good enough. A light gray background. Yeah, you can go with other colors as well. I just want to try out something new, and yeah, you've already seen the result because I put the result in the beginning always, and I kind of haven't seen it, of course. So then we can do multiple things to make this effect happen. The easiest way and the best way to do it, I can't do. I will show it to you anyway. But I can't do it for the simple reason that I have After Effects CS4, and you need CS5 or higher, or 6 even, or higher, to get that. You make a shape layer. You basically put off the fill, which is if you click on fill, you have different options. You choose the one with the red stripe through it. And then you set the stroke to something really high, but we will see that in a moment. Let's set it to 5 first, which is kind of the standard setting. Then we're going to create an ellipse, and we're going to create it like this, and then we're going to just set it to the normal values that we would want. So currently, disconnecting this, we want it 300 by 300. If I set this to 300, the total effect is going to be 600, and we want to, but yeah, we'll see that in a moment. We want to set the position to 0, 0. Yeah, 0, 0. This way it is actually centered, and now we're going to, because our size is 300, we want to set this to 300 as well. And as you can see, it now fills up most of the screen. If you want to make it smaller, just half this and half, well, make this the size of the size, well, make the stroke size the size of your, or the radius of your cylinder. So basically how you want to do this normally, and I don't have that option, but there will be trim path in here, and you can use trim path to do exactly the same. The advantage being that if you look at what you can do with stroke here, you can actually put on like caps, for example, round cap, but for me it doesn't do anything because, well, I don't have the cut that you're about to make. Anyway, we're not going to do it this way because I can't do it this way. This way I'm about to show you can be used for, well, by anyone with any version. And we're going to make it, well, the first one we can make dark. So just dark. And we're going to make another solid. This might be why I have such an aversion against shape layers, by the way, because I really do, but I can't really use the options that they made, yeah, well, well, no, not previously, recently, because all of the options that they made recently are not in my version, and that kind of makes that all of my stuff is kind of useless. I'm going to make it 400, I guess. So this is 440. This is then 840, and this should be 160 by 560. Yeah, that sounds about right. Reset to ellipse. There we go. It means that it is exactly in the middle, and that's exactly where we want it. Then we're going to find in our effects and preset Radial Wipe. It is all the way in the bottom here. Obviously, I already tried this out, and I'm going to put that on this layer. So by putting it on this layer, I make sure that only this will well, will be edited. If you want everything to be edited, just add, what are they called? An adjustment layer? Yeah, you add an adjustment layer and you add it to the adjustment layer. So we're going to now set this from start time 0 to start time, let's say, 2 seconds. So you can use page up and page down to scroll through it. And by now you should know that this is the zoom for your timeline. It doesn't adjust the size of your composition. That is done in composition settings, which is right here, composition settings. Mine is now 15 seconds. It's too long, I guess. I don't think that I will make a 15-second thingy. But, well, we'll see. So anyway, the start angle is going to... oh, sorry, that's not what I wanted to edit. That's crazy. I wanted to do the completion. So the completion is, or should be, 0 at 0. Let's do that again. So it seems that I do have something edited. Hang on. Transition complete. There you go. And it is going to be 100% at this time. So you will see that it now wipes the thing clean. Obviously, that's exactly the opposite of what we want. So we're going to switch around these two things. And we're going to wipe it on here. So we're going to start with, well, let's set this to like a few frames further in, like half a second. So we have half a second of nothingness, and then we wipe it in, and you can see. So the simplest way I found to make this the other way around is to just turn this into a 3D layer. And you can do that by clicking the box under here, and it will actually say 3D layer. And then hit the R for rotation, go to the Y direction and set it to 180 degrees. It will actually, I can show you, it will turn it like that, and it will just flip the layer for you. So easy enough, you can just wipe the other way. So because we don't have to animate anything other than that, this layer is kind of done. But yeah, we can also just say, okay, so let's have it there, let's wipe it, and then at 2 seconds it will be complete. But at 3 seconds we want to wipe it backwards. So we can once again do the same thing. We're going to set a keyframe. We can apparently only do that over here. We're going to set a keyframe where we want the next animation to start, so that in the middle here it will actually stay stationary. And then we're going to do 1.5 seconds onwards. I forgot whether I took 7 or 8 here. I actually took number 8, so that means that this is 12. So the length is no, hang on. That's why do I say 12? I completely blank there. That means that this is actually 25 minus 8. I don't know why I put it at 8. It makes no sense. It should be at 12. That's what I meant. So 13 then plus 1 second. So that means that this one should be at 13 as well. See, that's where I got the 12. Anyhow, that being done, we want to make sure that we wipe the right way, depending on what we want, obviously, and you know now how to reverse it. So if you want to reverse it, you can of course do that. Here, I now swipe the other way, so I'm swiping clockwise and then counterclockwise. But I want to do both clockwise. So to do that, we're going to go back to rotation. We're going to animate the Y rotation. And before this animation starts, so this animation should start at 0. But now the other effect is kind of messed up again. So we're going to go 1 frame back, and you need to really do just the 1 frame. So page up if you are unsure on where you are, and just set this to 180. So now we have 180 up until this point, so this will wipe that way, and then here it will switch. You can see the arrow of the x-axis actually switch between these two frames, and then it will wipe the same way. So yeah, if you do want the other way, obviously you need to reverse that order. But yeah, as I said, this was the easiest way I found to do this, but there may be other ways. Anyhow, we are now at, let's see, 4.5 seconds. So let's say that up until 5, we're not going to do anything. So we're going to just leave this be, and then we're going to create a new one. So layer new solid, and it's going to be the same size, obviously. And we want this to be pure black. Okay. Then we want, instead of this this normal thing that we did just there, we want to make somewhat more of an effort. So, oh, no, not there. Over here, we're going to make masks. So we want to make somewhat more interesting wipe. Yeah, I accidentally created something that I didn't want. Yeah, without the layer selected, it's going to create a shape layer if you select the pen tool, but obviously that's not what I wanted. Mask, mask, shape. And this one is going to be, let's say, just 200 to 300. So it's going to be off-center, and it's going to be centered here, so it's 100 only, so that's 310 to 410. Oh, and I forgot once again to turn it into an ellipse. You can of course wipe other things as well, but yeah, we're not doing that right now. I'm going to duplicate this mask, Control D, and we're going to make this mask a little bit bigger this time. Let's make it 5 bigger. Oh, that's 5 smaller. So it needs to be 195. Oh, that is terrible. 195, 3. Yeah, this needs to be smaller. 305, and then 305, 415. So it's going to be a little bit bigger, as you can see. We now have 2. So put this one to subtract, and then all we have left is, what we have is mask 1 minus mask 2, which is exactly the way we wanted that. Yeah, that is not smart. Put the selection tool back on, and then select or deselect everything. So now we have this thing on the on our page here. And unfortunately, we cannot use the same thing that we used before, the Radial Wipe. If we use that, so if we put that on this layer, and we say, like, yeah, let's see what you do. Oh, can we deselect this crap? Because this looks terrible if I have it selected. I can't see what's happening. Anyhow, like this then. So yeah, you can see a little bit on what's happening. Let me zoom in. Maybe that helps. So this is what's happening. It does nothing until 50. No, it has to be more. It has to be more like 70%. Yeah, 73%, and then it wipes it like that. That's not what we want. Well, the reason is it always takes this point to be, well, the point where it's at. So we have to center this point, which was kind of my point of not putting it in the center. So what we need to do is we need to put this mask, or both masks rather, in the center. And if we do that, we should be fine. So make every mask in the center, then move them outwards. That is kind of my point here. 6, no, that's, how much was this? I don't know, let's do the first mask. Should have written down the values that I used. So this was 100, which means that my x is going to be 590 to 690. And this one is going to be 310 to 410. I already had that. And I already have an ellipse, so that's cool. Yeah, instead of doing the same thing for this mask, I'm just going to duplicate this one. Control D, or just go to Edit, Duplicate, and we're going to just make it a little bit smaller so that I don't have to think about it too much. This is the smaller one, right? So 95. It's not a 5. Oh no, it was bigger. It was actually bigger. 605. No. This is bigger. 695. So yeah, 415. And this one is 305. And I did something wrong. Apparently I messed up this one. I think it was 590 originally, so it has to be 85. Yeah, so I did mess it up. And then, as I said, you need to have add, subtract. And now, if we use that same thing, you see that it does wipe correctly, which is exactly the point. So now if we want to move that off center, which we did want to do, we're going to hit position and then just change the position. You can also drag it, but this is just better, I think. So we're going to put it at 300, and we're going to copy the layer by hitting Control D, hitting P on this next one, and then putting this to, I don't know, I don't even know, 700. Well, it's not enough. It has to be there. 950 and 60, I guess. 40. Yeah, it's about there. You can center it better. I don't know. I didn't calculate properly. So we have the swipe, and then we have the second swipe somewhere. Oh no, I didn't put the swipe in yet. So yeah, shouldn't copy before you're done. So I'm going to delete it again. I think we ended at 4.5 seconds. So we're going to start at 5. Yes, that is true. So we're going to start at 5 and just make this one, I guess. Set it to 100 because we want to wipe it first, or to wipe it on, not off. And then 1 second wipe into 0. Hit U if you want to see what you're actually doing. And there you go. So now I can click somewhere else, and then we can finally see what it's actually doing. So let's say I want this one to wipe counterclockwise, and then the other one, so the next one, Control D. Let's say I want this one to be counterclockwise. So we're first of all going to position this in the other way. I think it was 950. So now they both swipe in the same way. And just like with the other one, I'm going to turn it into 3D layer. What's happening? Oh, you need to click the button, of course. 3D layer, we're going to have the rotation, R for rotation, and put this to 180 degrees. Since it's not animated, it doesn't matter where you are on the timeline. And now they will swipe like that. So off center, you need to first center them, then put them in the position where you want them. And yeah, just like I did, you need to make them first. So make the complete animation first and then move them over. So can we make something cool with this? Because, well, we could actually do that, of course. I don't think these are going to be very cool. So I should probably just delete them because the cooler effects all are centered around just the middle and centered on each other, because that's just the way it is. That's what we like to see as humans. So let's delete these two just for learning purposes, I guess. We do want to add another, well, add back the layer, I guess. Shape layer. No, not shape layer. What am I doing? You can do it with shape layers as well. It's the same principle. It's just that I like to have my solids. Black solids. There we go. It's called black solid too, but yeah, that's because I already deleted the first one. So let's make a circle in this one. And let's make it nice and big. We can actually just drag it out to where we want it. You don't have to type it in all the time. As long as you don't mind that it's not perfect, then you can just drag it like this and just put it to whatever. We're going to masks once again. We're going to set it to an ellipse, mask shape, reset to ellipse. There you go. And put it behind the dark gray solid. Obviously it's not very well centered, so we can just pick it up and just drag it around to where we want it to be. The problem is, yeah, I do have to center it. I just noticed that the anchor point actually moves with the entire layer, so we're going to have to center it. Yeah, if you don't mind not having a perfect thing, then yeah, you don't have to, but yeah, I do want to have somewhat of a perfect thing. Let's make this 640, oh sorry, 340 to 940 then. And that means that they're 300s, and that also means that this one is supposed to be 60 to 660. So, position then, because I messed that up a little bit. This one has to be 360. No, that's one too many. 360, so yeah, there's that. And now let's create somewhat of a same effect that I had previously. So duplicate the mask. I'm going to change it into a little bit of a, well, lesser shape, lesser amount. I need to like add a number here, let's say 10. So this one needs to become bigger. This one needs to become smaller. This one needs to become bigger. This one needs to become smaller. Why is that such a weird number? I don't know. So it's really tiny now. That's not really what I was looking for. Let's add another 10. So bigger, smaller, bigger, smaller. There you go. Yeah, that's better. Now we hit the subtract on the second mask. First mask minus second mask is what's left. And we are going to keep it concentric with the other one. So they have the same midpoint. And we're going to add the radial wipe to it. There you go. Putting it at yeah, well, no, let's do it somewhat differently. At 3 seconds, we're going to put this one to 100. At 5 seconds, we're going to, no, it's 5, it's 4.5 somewhere. It's here. We're going to set this to 0, and it now wipes the other way. Oh, yeah, for those of you that didn't notice, I didn't put the stopwatch on. So, yeah, that was pretty stupid. Let's see, 4.5 seconds, and no, this is 0. So it's going to wipe the other way, which might be a cool effect. You might also say, well, I don't like that. I personally don't like it, so I'm going to reverse it again. As I said, it is the easiest way that I found, but feel free to do it in any other way. It is just that now I only have to click one button, type in one value, and it immediately does it. So as you can see, now at least we keep something on the screen. So we have the first thing on the screen, then we get a new one on the screen, and now we can go from here and make like different versions appear, maybe at different times, something like that. So we're going to wipe this one back at, how many time did I put in between the first one? Oh, that's not that. This one, that's this one. U to see what was happening. So I put 1 second between this, which means I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to wipe this, and then once I'm done here, I'm at 4:13. So we're going to go to 5:13. And we're going to say, okay, let's add another transformation completion thingy. That is the wrong layer. Let's send that off so that I don't make that mistake. Black solid selected, hit U, and then you can see where you are. We're going to copy this point, put it at 12, because here we want the next one to start. Yeah, it's still at, or we still need to edit it to 100%. It took a second and a half, yeah. So we're going to put it to 7. It's not going to be perfect because I took 25 frames per second. If you take 30, it will be, or you will be able to set this perfectly and make every item equally big. And then we need to do the rotation thing that we did before as well. So hit the rotation keyframe, go one thing down, then set it to 0 again, and then it will wipe the other way. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm just going to check out whether I did that correctly. No, this is 12. Yeah, okay. The rotation needs to happen before the animation starts, so it should look like this. The animation rotation switch comes in right here, and then the animation starts. Okay, that is cool. Let's now copy this entire layer and make it into something smaller, I guess. That would be good enough. So we're going to not take the entire layer as it is here, but we're going to say when you wipe this clean, we're going to add this one on. So, and it's going to be smaller. We're just going to scale it. It's not as good when you scale it, but it is very useful because, as you can see, all I have to do is hit the scale button and everything works already. So you can see that it works already. We are going to set this to a different gray color. Layer, solid settings. Let's put it to something lighter than the composition, or than the background, I mean. Is that light enough? Yeah, you can definitely see that. So now we have this effect, and this one's going to wipe back as well. But we want multiples, so this is just a 1. We do, however, want multiples, and let's make that happen. So mask, we're going to just copy these masks, select them, Control D, and then you can drag them into position if you want. I like to keep them together just because it's easier. And I guess I want to have some kind of feathering effect going on. A few pixels. Let's just see how that looks. Oh, I don't know if you actually notice that. That is my main problem. No, you don't notice that. So never mind. Never mind. Feathering, it can be a really cool effect. But yeah, if you don't see it, then there's no reason to do it. I guess we're just going to copy this entire layer once again. I guess the original is better. Duplicate it once again, and we're going to add on, no, not this one, because it's already lined up to, well, to the right time. And I do want to have the timing the same, so I don't have to change the time. I just want to change the color to something dark. And I want to change the scaling to be very small, I guess. Yeah, could work. Let's see. So now they here they wipe on simultaneously. It's a little bit too small. Let's up it a little bit. This is all up to you, of course. So yeah, if you don't like the fact that they all, well, look the same, so have the same angles, you can also just rotate it. So you can rotate here with the start angle, and you can say, okay, I want this one to start over here. Because we have multiples on screen, it actually makes sense that they wouldn't start at the same position. Well, it's not so much that it would make sense, but it would just look cooler if they don't start at the same position. Let's take 180. So yeah, that would look a little bit more interesting, at least. And then we're going to take this same layer again, duplicate it, and rotate it even further. So let's say, no, we're going to do 90 degrees, and then make this one a little bit bigger. So it's between the two. Make it a different color. And of course, this is just now, we're kind of just putting in new things. Let's make it very light. Not quite white yet, but it's getting close. And here, it already looks a little more interesting. Yeah, because everything is now starting at the same moment, it kind of looks weird, so you can actually offset the time a little bit if you want to. Solid settings, so I duplicated it again, and we're going to take a very dark one. Let's now take it, yeah, take this into 270, and then scale it to very small, I guess. That's the only thing we really have left. If we want to not just paint over this old one, we can of course paint over the old one. We can just say, like, it's going to change colors. Let's actually do that. That's actually quite nice. It's really easy to do as well. So it looks like this, and yeah, it's just an effect. You don't have to like it. It's just a way. I'm just showing you how it's done. I personally don't like that they all start at the same time and end at the same time, because it looks weird. So we're going to change that in a moment. But let's first get this one, that's the outer one, duplicate that and put it under, well, no, just take the bottom one, they're the same. And we're going to edit this one to have a different color. So this one is going to be something light. Let's take pure white. That would actually make sense a little bit. And we're going to offset that by a few seconds. I don't know what I did to this one. I think this one has a lot of animations on it already. Yeah, so currently they're exactly the same. So what we want to do is we want to, when this one is completely white, the other one should start. It's over here. This one should now start to wipe it clean I don't know what happens before this because I didn't really pay attention. See, now it becomes from black, it becomes white. And then the white one wipes away. But this is the part that you don't see. So there's an animation on here going from there to there, which you don't really see because it's underneath the black one. And then, yeah, it doesn't matter. You can just leave it up. You can also delete it if you don't like it that it's there. Yeah, okay. So let's change the fact that everything here starts at the same time and ends at the same time. Starting with this one. Well, one of them can stay the way it is, of course. That's going to be that one. Sorry. This one, we're going to hit U to see where everything is. We need to pick up everything at the same time, because if we don't, then we might actually mess it up. So this is all that's on there. You can see the entire line here. So we have 4 points where things change, and these have to stay together. So this is the wipe on, and then here it stays stationary, and this is the wipe off. So let's say we want to just start this one a little bit later, end it a little bit later as well. I don't know how much, you can just estimate. This one a little bit later, and it's a little bit earlier. So this way, here, once everyone starts, so everyone has already started, and now we're going to start. And it's already ended before the big one, or before the other ones end. Hang on, is that true? No, it actually, no, it's later than the rest. So that's fine. And here it's late as well, but it ends earlier than the rest. It already ended, and the rest still has a little bit to go. So yeah, next one, U. Let's make this a very quick one. So it does it very quickly, and then the second part, it maybe starts early and is way later. So the first one will be really rapidly, and then the second one will be a lot longer. Maybe we could even try this by dragging this all the way over here. It actually starts when the other one ends. So this one ends and then starts. Yeah, okay. We can also say, well, we're not really satisfied with that it starts and ends at the same spot. So here, this one now starts over here. Sorry. And then the second wipe starts on the other side. That's simply because I reversed the Y. So I rotate it in Y direction in our 3D layer, which is why it starts on the other side. You can, of course, also in this keyframe switch the start angle from 90 degrees to minus 90 degrees. And okay, I can show you actually. So the previous frame, where we are now, should have this start angle. So the 90 degrees start angle. Where are you? It doesn't actually show us the start angle. That is excellent. So let's just set it over here. And then the next frame, it should be minus 90. There you go. Did I do that in the correct spot now? Yeah, okay. I don't know if I did it in the correct spot, because I seem to be in the wrong spot here, but no, it's fine. Oh, it's this layer. Okay, so yeah, there it is. I was looking in the wrong layer. Apparently I didn't close my previous layer, and that's what you get for being sloppy. So yeah, it does show up, obviously. It should show up, so I was already wondering why it didn't. So yeah, you can see here that it now starts on the left side, then goes all the way around, and then starts on, oh, it already wiped on, of course, otherwise we can see it. Here it starts on the left side, the white one, well, this white one, and then it starts the second one on the left side as well. So yeah, just take care of what you want to make out of this. It's not a really difficult effect, it's just that you have to pay attention to what you're actually doing. Let's edit this one as well so that we have everything. Hit U, and yeah, this time I am going to close my previous one, and we are going to see what we can do with this. Maybe end a little later, start a lot later, and end a lot earlier. I don't know. It's the smallest one, so you won't even notice it really. It's just there for the filling. I think this is a little bit too long. Let's move this up. Just yeah, make it whatever you want to achieve. So now everything wipes up at different speeds, different times. You can even, as I did with one of the previous one, or with one of the other ones, just put them right next to each other so that it's only a full circle for 1 second, or 1 frame, which is 1/25 of a second. And that seems to be fine. Okay, now let's add a final wipe to wipe the entire board. We could make that start here and just copy the original one. So this one, we actually have it already on top, so we don't need to do anything else. Yeah, because it's on top, it's going to wipe over everything that's underneath it. And we're just going to be able to copy everything that we have here. First of all, we're going to copy the keyframes to the point where we currently are. Then we're going to copy all the keyframes. So I just copied the last keyframes to make sure that whatever is happening up until this point stays the same in that layer. Now we're going to, so up until the where are we, 9-second mark. Then on the 9 and 1, I'm going to paste all the other keyframes. So apparently I didn't copy them correctly. Oh. Oh, come on. So yeah, I want to copy both of the wipes, so the wipe on and the wipe off, and I want to copy them to 901. There you go. So now I should have yeah, this is not good. Let's first of all set the rotation. Apparently I didn't copy everything. Don't really understand how that is, but must have done something wrong. What just happened? Come on, give me just this. Yeah, okay. So we're reversing the order, and then it's wiping on, and it's wiping off, and everything is clean again. So yeah, you can end it differently, of course. We can actually just wipe on our logo here. That would be cool as well. Yeah, let's do that. Let's add our logo. I'm going to try to find it. Import file. And there it is. Logo. It's a PNG. It's a see-through file, transparent file. So I can use it straight off. I don't have to color key anything or anything like that. So we're going to put it in the middle here. Let's scale it. And then, yeah, maybe move it a little bit. I don't know. Looks about right. So let's see if we can wipe that on just after we wipe this one on. Like we're going to give it, like, where do we start? We start at 1. Let's give it 5 frames advantage over us. New. Okay, I don't have the wipe on here, of course. Where is my wipe? Here it is. We're going to drop the wipe on the logo. And then, yeah, we're going to set the start angle to the same thing. We're going to have to improvise a little bit here, I think. Yeah, because we have to rotate this by 180 around Y, and here's where your skills should come in, because it reverses this one. But we can scale by saying, now it's 49%, but we're going to put it to in the Y-axis. And it actually allows me to do that. To minus, oh, that's the wrong axis apparently. Oh no, I had everything, yeah. I think it's the X-axis, yeah, it is. Minus 49. And then it's all right again. So what I did is I reversed the entire layer, which makes the sweep go the right way, but then the image reverses, so I can reverse the image by doing the scaling the other way. So this one's basically double flipped, which makes it right side up again. Anyhow, at 6, we're going to say, okay, stopwatch on. 0% complete. Well, actually it's 100% complete, but it's kind of the weird way they tell you to use that. And then we're going to wipe it on. How's this one already done? Oh, it's, yeah. So 5 frames after the other one, we're going to set this one to 100%. Oh, that's the wrong one. Need to select the right one. We're going to set this to 0%. That's what it is. And then we can either wipe it off again. So currently what it looks like is this. Oh, see, it still wipes the wrong way. So apparently that didn't work. And I was being so smart about it. So should I just ignore the rotation then, or should I? Yeah, so now it actually wipes the right way. But now my thing is reversed. So let's scale it to 49. But yeah, that will not work because it will go the wrong way. Haha. Okay, let me come up with an answer here. Okay, so the easiest way I could come up with here is to just make a new logo. It is going to be your import file. It's going to be the reversed version, which means it's just mirrored. So we're going to just add it in and hit the U on this one. Just copy all of the stuff that's on this one into the other one. There's nothing on here, okay. That's excellent. Yeah, we're going to first of all put the Radial Wipe on our new logo. So the logo is just mirrored, that's all there is to it. Yeah, it needs to be 49%, I kind of forgot about that. So let's put this on this. And now it needs to be scaled at 49% first, then we're going to unlock this, put this to minus 49. And now it should work. Yeah, let's turn off the old one, or delete the old one, whatever. So the thing will come in, and then just afterwards, I guess just afterwards was a really bad pick on what I wanted to do with it. It's actually pretty terrible. We're going to wait until this is done, and then we're going to wipe this one on. So we're going to wipe on the first one, and then the second one will follow just there. I'm not going to wipe it off again. I think that looks terrible. There you go. Now it wipes on the way I wanted it to. It's not exactly positioned correctly though. I mean, it's not far off. Yeah, anyhow. So it wipes on, and then the logo wipes on. Ta-da! That's all there is to it. So yeah, lots of radial wipes today. And yeah, I just wanted to show you the different things, also the things that you can do wrong, and then we made the logo appear, which means that you can do this with photos and pictures and whatever you made in like Photoshop, things like that. If you're wondering how to make a transparent picture like I have, then just look at the tutorial in the or at the link in the description, and you will see how you can make one of these. It's really easy. So anyway, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.